If Atlanta's going to pull this off, Steve, if they're going to rally and advance, they will have gotten close to 18 innings in 3 days from their bullpen. Chris Rietsma comes on now. Jared Wright could not get out of the 6th inning. Grabowski came on, got a couple of outs, and now Rietsma.
We touched on the problems that the Braves are having right now.
Ground ball past the mound. It'll squirt right into center field. Jose Vizcaíno. Just his 2nd hit of the series.
That the bullpen has had to endure here in this series. How do they regroup if the Braves move on? And a similar situation for the Astros. You wouldn't see Clemens and Oswalt until games 3 and 4.
Yeah, you might have to go in with Brandon Backey and Pete Monroe.
I think the Cardinals are licking their chops right now, no matter who they face.
You've got a couple of teams that will get through this exhausted. Somebody comes through, you're right, to face the Cardinals. The other team can take until mid-February to catch their breath.
And it just happens to be the best offensive team in baseball, Cardinals.
Well, they will get either a torn-up Braves bullpen or a torn-up Astros starting rotation. Chavez with the bunt. And Rietsma, whoa, with a high throw, and Giles on the trampoline to go get it. Might have had a play at second base. I don't know if he ever looked there, Steve. As we talk about the Yankees-Red Sox LCS coming up, Mike Lamb, this past January, Steve, he's thinking, wow, I've been traded to the Yankees to compete for that third base job, and then in February, A-Rod gets traded to the Yankees. Competition over. And he ends up moving along to the Houston Astros. 14 home runs and about 270 at bats. Not bad.
It's a good year, and they're very versatile off the bench, are these Astros. With Lamb and Palmeiro and Lane. Not a lot of pop, but all guys that can put their bat on the ball, move runners around, and get a big base hit for you off the bench.
Mike Lamb, whose wife Teresa is due with the couple's first child later this week. Picked out of the dirt, 2-1. Gallo again gets up in the bullpen. The Astros took the lead 2-0 in this one. With a couple of runs in the second. Beltran hit the first of his 2 solo home runs in the third. A couple of solos from the Atlanta Braves in the bottom of the 5th. Cut it to 3-2. Beltran went off again. Made it 4-2, and that's where we are. Lamb skies one. 2 down. Such a solid player in a 17-year career.
That's just the definition of a gamer.
Hadn't really happened for him in the postseason, though. He's down 0-2.
Biggio always gives you the impression of being such a little guy, but pretty well put together. In fact, out of high school was offered 4 different scholarship offers to play football. Boston College, Syracuse, Penn State.
Slapped in right field. It is not caught. It is short hopped. And the ball gets away. Johnny Estrada was steamrolled, and Biggio's going to third. Close in right and then close at the plate. Biggio comes through again.
And Estrada had to keep his ground.
Beltran, who was homered in each of his last 2 at-bats. And the Astros get that tack-on run with a 2-out hit from Biggio. Again, a quiet crowd in Atlanta.
I think the Astros have done just enough to keep taking this crowd out of it. Play on a road like this, you try to score first. Team makes a comeback on you. You've done a great job of going back out there and scoring a couple more runs.
Well, the Braves did rally from this exact score yesterday, down 5-2. They would end up winning it 6-5, and that's why we're sitting here tonight. Boy, you go 3-1 on Beltran, you are asking for it in this series. Do you say the heck with it now and just say here you go?
I wouldn't throw him a strike here. I mean, he's so hot swinging the bat right now, and right now Rietzman's just having trouble with location, just letting the ball get away from him, opening up that front shoulder a little quick. The ball's leaking out of the strike zone. Last thing you want to do is try to guide one over the plate right here.
Beltran comes through on 3-1. They pitch to him, and the Astros lead it 6-2.
Spent so much time in Kansas City where no one paid attention, and then early in this just doing it up in this division series.
The lefty Martin getting ready now. Well, you talk about being on the big stage, Steve. Until tonight, well, the Astros were pretty much the not ready for primetime players. Their last 18 postseason games, 17 were played in the afternoon. Tonight they get the main stage, and they have excelled. Winner advancing to play St. Louis in the National League Championship Series.
It's at a quick view of Andy Pettitte there on the top step of the dugout. Is there a bigger big game pitcher than he is? He has to sit and watch.
Yeah, what they wouldn't do to have a healthy Andy Pettitte if indeed they advance.
Talk about what he's done in a postseason over his career with the Yankees. It's got to be eating at him.
In there for a strike, 2-2 to Bagwell. Well, things have been eating at the Houston Astros fans, Steve, for 43 years now. They have never advanced in a postseason series. Jeff Bagwell tees off, and he drives it into left. This ball is going to go, Jeff Bagwell! With a base hit off Tom Martin, and the Houston Astros have a huge inning going, already leading 8-2. The 2-out hits just keep coming. The very first delivery from Tom Martin, whacked into left field by Lance Berkman.
Well, you switch Berkman over to the other side of the plate where he's equally as comfortable. Big top hand swing right there from Berkman right down the line for the double. It's always funny to find out how guys figure out that they want to be a switch hitter as you look at the numbers for Tom Martin. Berkman's father just hung a tire from a tree in his backyard, and he said swing from both sides of it. Became a switch hitter after that.
Boy, it's worked out well. Jeff Kent takes a strike, 4 consecutive 2-out hits. And on a night of incredible emotion for Mr. Biggio and Mr. Bagwell, learning last night of the passing of their good friend Ken Caminiti. Biggio and Bagwell both delivering with big 2-out hits in the 7th.
That was one of the things that you and I had talked about before the game, whether the emotion of that situation would propel them onto outstanding games or whether or not they'd be able to handle it at all and get it out of their minds in order to play.
Caminiti, who began his career as an Astro, ended it as an Atlanta Brave. Kent fouls one back. Caminiti wrestled with so many demons. He was at various times, Steve, as you know, addicted to alcohol, to steroids, to crack cocaine. On the field, he was so strong. Off the field, it was a nightmare. And the friends like Biggio and Bagwell trying to help him all those years. Line shot foul by Kent.
You're listening to Phil Garner talk about the way Caminiti played on and off the field, sort of a personality where he did everything full tilt.
Houston is certainly in the best spot they've been in trying to advance. They have had leads before trying to win a series. Back in 1980, they led the Phillies 5-2 in Game 5. Yesterday, they led the Braves 5-2 in Game 4. Lost those leads, but here now it is 8-2. In the history of this franchise, Steve, 6 times they have played a game that would have clinched a postseason series. All 6 times they've lost, including that heartbreaker yesterday. Five from Clemens turned out not to be enough yesterday. Maybe 5 from Oswalt tonight was.
If you're the Astros, and anybody who comes in to throw for the Astros now just has to make sure they come in and throw strikes, keep the ball down, keep the ball in the yard. You get out of here with a win and you're on to the next round.
And now Jeff Kent will get one down into center field. Andrew Jones is throwing. And it continues, at least until Kent is going to belly flop and be called out at second base. It is a 5-run 7th inning.